All right, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Chop Up Pisca. I am with Nick Stevenson of the Houston Sports State of the Union podcast. If you don't know, you're about to find out. This guy is the best in Texas. Like, when it comes to Texas sports, this guy knows everything that he knows. And if you don't know, now you know. Nick, how you doing today, man?
I'm good, man. I may not know as much as some people, but I care more than most people. And that's, I think, what makes me fairly decent at what I do, because I care and I'm passionate about it. And that's half the ball game, right?
I mean, you're not
knowledge,
wrong. Like, as long as you care about it, like it means something, right?
yeah, for sure.
So I gotta tell us before we get into the episode, and when you're a huge Houston sports fan, the Texans, and that's most of the reason why you're here. I
Yeah.
gotta have a really small sample size of my last weekend of why people are terrible.
Okay.
Okay, you were not privy to this. This was completely blindside to you.
It's exciting though.
So 3 or 4 days ago, I went to the store and there was a child running out of whatever department store. I'm not going to name them because they might have some issues with it. And I said, I need to do something about this.
Running
This-
out of the store, like out
There
into
was a
the
child.
outdoors.
Yeah, there was a child running out of the store, and the parent was saying the kid's name. And I was looking around, and every time that this,
How many
every
syllables
time,
did the name have?
what was that?
How many syllables did the name have?
2.
Okay. That tells me what
It's an
their
abbreviation. It was, it was an abbreviation.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so every time I looked back, the parent was never there. And every time I tried to help, I walked outside. I saw the kid, so
Right.
I had my eyes on him, and another woman was walking inside of the store, and she makes eye contact with me, and I said, "Can you watch him while I try to address the situation?" She goes, "Yeah, go ahead." I walk inside. I try to take care of the situation, and someone's like, "Well, it's not really my job." What do you mean it's not your job? Like, it's a
Wait.
kid who's lost. And he
So
goes,
you left the kid with a stranger essentially so you could go find the kid's parent?
well, so that's the most wild thing about it though, is she's watching him outside. I'm trying to get the parent there.
Right.
And the associate says, well, it's not really my job. And I'm like,
Right.
well, it's not my job either, but there's a kid who
Right.
needs to find their kid or who needs to find their parent. And the parent just disappeared.
So this associate worked there.
The person,
Person
the
you
parent?
left the child with.
No.
No, you went to look for the parent while you left the child with an associate that worked
So
there?
I bought a vacuum. I walked outside. And as I
Mhm.
walked outside, I saw this kid run outside because I heard a parent yell this kid's name,
Right.
but wasn't really trying to actually find them because I was outside for 45 seconds to a minute. And I was like, I need to keep an eye on this kid.
Right.
And then another woman like showed up and she goes, what's going on here? I said, can you keep an eye on
Oh,
him?
okay.
Yeah.
When you said associate, I thought you meant it was actually someone who worked at the store.
No,
Because
so
at that point, I would argue it kind of is your job.
well, I
But
went
it
to
is
an
just another
associate and I said, this kid cannot be like, there's
Yeah,
no parent here.
yeah.
And so but the associate said, it's not my job. Ask her because it was the customer service thing. And then
Gotcha.
next thing I know, I get a second person. They say, well, we have this whole thing. We have this whole process where you bring the kid to us. No, if he's not listening to his parent, why the hell would this kid listen to me?
Right. So basically nobody wanted to do anything about it.
Nobody wanted to do anything. And then finally, the woman who I found outside walked inside the store and said, hey, they found the kid. I'm like, well, do you know that? Nobody knows anything.
Right.
You know that's the parent or whatever's going on. It was just
Wow.
nobody wanted to do anything. The parent was was absent. The associates were worthless.
Uh,
That was it.
Crazy.
I had to get that off my chest because I have had enough of incompetence.
Yeah.
But you're here, Mr. Nick Stevenson. What's going on with the Houston Sports State of the Union podcast? You have some really cool stuff going on with the Rock the Mic, and I'm really upset that I can't be a part of it.
Well, you could. I think I've been trying to get you to move to Texas for how long now? At least a year. But
I used to live there. I used to live in Texas, bro.
I know. I'm trying to get you to come back home. No, man. So like I've just been doing my thing. I'm about to do my 20th episode tonight, which actually sounds crazy. I started in March and I really got inspired to do sports by being on your show. So I have to thank you for that. But yeah, man, like ESPN Houston made a post about, get your podcast on our YouTube channel, which they have like almost 11,000 followers on that channel, which is cool. And so I was like, dude, why not? So I turned in my audition video. What I did not know is that the world would be able to see my audition video. I might have made it a little bit better. I thought just the executives at ESPN were going to be watching it. But no, they actually posted it to their YouTube channel. They put it in a playlist called Rock the Mic. And so round one has, I think there's 20 different entries, and the top 3 now, the rules have been kind of convoluted. They've been kind of changing.
I've seen
as
that.
they go. At first it was going to be this top 2. Now it's the top 3. Will be decided by a combination of likes and views. And so I've called upon Houston Sports Nation and all my social media family to help me out. And as it sits today, I'm currently sitting with the most views and the most likes out of all of them. So thank you guys very much. But I need to continue because there's people right on my tail. I don't know if you have the link in the description of this video or not, but
I don't yet, but I need
if you don't yet, I'll make sure I send it to you so that you can. But no, I would appreciate. I'm going to ask you to watch the video. I won't ask you to like it unless you actually like it. I'm kidding. Please hit like on it because I need to like.
Because you did that to me too. You're like, don't like it, but you don't like it.
A little white lie. Even if you don't like it and you still like it, you can still go to heaven. It's not that big of. It's a small lie.
Right.
But no, man. So like, it's a really cool thing. You probably know this more than anybody. Radio people usually don't like podcasters. Radio people, they think that I don't know how you want to call it, fast tracked our way to. I don't know. I can understand where they're coming from. If I spent thousands of dollars to go to broadcasting school, and then some jamoke spent a couple of $1,000s to put some stuff in his house. And I mean, some of these podcasters, man, have a bigger following than these radio guys, but the radio guys over at ESPN 97.5 are really embracing the podcasters. And I think that's cool, man. I think it's dope. Some of these guys that work at ESPN 97.5, I was listening to them when I was a kid. Like some of them been doing it that long. So I thought it was really cool that they're doing that. And so yeah, if you guys want to vote for me, I will put the link to the video. I'll give it to Prescott. He can put it in the description here. You guys just go watch the video and hit like, and hopefully I'll make it to the next round. The next round of 10, we'll have to do another video that's 5 to 10 minutes long. And then it'll be the same thing. They'll post it. The top 4 will be decided by likes and views. And then whoever makes the top 4 will get to compete live at Carbach Brewery in Houston, Texas on August 23rd. And that's going to be, I hope I make that, man. I'm not going to lie, dude. I want to win the whole damn thing. I'm going to be completely transparent with all of you. I'm not going to be shy about it. I want to win the whole damn thing. But there's some really talented guys in the competition. So may the best man win. You know what's crazy, bro? And I wasn't doing this because I was trying to get good juju or good karma, but I actually went and viewed and hit like. No, I went and viewed and hit like on another guy's video that's in the competition, even though I'm in the competition, because I'm like, you know what? Game recognized game. I respect the fact when somebody's talented and they do good work. It's the same way I ran into you, man. Like, I'm not gonna. I don't know how many of these guys in this competition are actively rooting for other people, but anybody in this medium who's passionate about sports, I'm gonna root for you. If you end up beating me, more power to you. But you better pack a lunch, man. That's all I gotta say. Like, I know I'm not saying that these guys don't work as hard as I do, but I know for a fact none of them work harder than me. They might work as hard, but nobody works harder than me when it comes to this. So that's why I feel like I'm gonna be all right. Win or lose, I'm gonna be good. I'll be comfortable with the outcome. But thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell your audience about that. And thank you for your support too, Prescott. Like, real talk. That means a lot to me.
Yo, that's the thing, man. I know this is gonna be bad for audio because they don't want to hear us smooching up to each other. This ain't what they're here for.
They don't want none of this bromance.
Yes, yeah. I want your love and I want your bromance. Like it's just no. Like I'm incredibly proud of what you've done and where you have not even just like you started. Like that sounds condescending because it's not what it is, but the fact that you branched out and like you're in a space where I'm I don't want to say jealous, like I'm just some kind of like fanboy, but dude, I am like I'm jealous of you, and I
Indeed. Yeah,
want
yeah, yeah.
all, I
I get
want
it.
all of this for you.
Yeah, man. It's not just me, man. It's everybody who supported me, even from Smells Like Middle-Aged Spirit, man, which
Yeah.
in hindsight was so rough at the beginning. Like, I didn't know what I was doing. But for everybody who stuck with me through the maturation of learning how to do audio, learning how to edit, learning how to convert to video, and everybody it's a small community, but it's a very tight knit community. And I appreciate all of you.
Yeah.
And look, man, there's two dudes in this contest who have double digit thousands of followers on Twitter, on YouTube, and I'm ahead of them right now. So that means like I said, I got a small group of people, but that small group is powerful, man. And I really appreciate it. I mean, one of the guys, he's got like 78,000 followers on X. One of them's 13,000 on X, 13,000 on YouTube. And I don't know, maybe ESPN forgot to email and tell them that they made the first round. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but we were talking before the mics went live, man, about how I've just kind of recently changed my attitude and my perception and the way I'm approaching things, man. And like, you get out of the universe what you put into it. If you put positivity into it, in my experience, it always comes back to you. So that's what I'm trying to manifest right now. So I'm glad
Well, I
you
do.
want to talk about that though.
I really appreciate your enthusiasm. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But regardless, what we
Right,
are
right.
going to get into is this Houston Texans talk.
I'm talking about my microphone's in the way of my shirt. I should have wore a Texans hat.
Nah, man, you good. Ain't no So you and I have talked about the Texans for a bit. We've had our back and forth. We've done our quarterback situations, all sorts of stuff. But
Yeah.
what do you really think is? And I have some other things I want to talk about later. You have your own show to go on. Also, Houston Sports State of the Union podcast will be live in about what, an hour?
Yeah. If
All
I'm
right,
done
yeah.
here, I'm not gonna rush out of here. But if you guys look, you can make a smooth transition. As soon as we're done here, I'll let Prescott share the link and you guys come hang. Hell, man, maybe you can come on my show too. I got nothing but time. So you guys can keep hanging with us on the flip side if you want. That'd be cool.
It's tough being this cool all the time. So when it comes to the Houston Texans, man, we've talked about this where you are a responsible. That's the word I would use. You are a responsible Houston Texans fan.
Cautiously optimistic.
Exactly, which I say responsible.
Yeah. Same,
You know,
same.
because I listened to your last show and you was like, yo, are they gonna go 17-0? No. But if they go 10-7 or 9-8 again, would that
Mhm.
be on the table? And the answer to that riddle is yes. And
Yes,
it's not
100%.
and it's mostly because, like you had said, that is they went from the fourth easiest schedule to the fourth or fifth most difficult one.
Bro, the last like
Those things
5
happen.
weeks of their schedule is brutal.
What
We're
is their last
talking
5 games? Because
we're
I
talking
actually
dude, they play
don't know.
Kansas City, they play the Ravens, and they're doing it all on short weeks. They're doing like a Christmas game against the Ravens. Yeah, man, it's because they have a lot. I mean, you have a lot more primetime games. So when you have primetime games, that means you have shorter practice, shorter recovery. Yeah,
Like the Bills, because they're not good, but they have Josh Allen and nobody cares.
Yeah.
They all care.
But no, and also like, our division, we played like in a 4-week span, we played Tennessee twice. I don't think Tennessee is going to be a complete run over. I'm not saying they're going to be
You
great.
probably split that. You probably split it.
I hope I when I did my prediction on the season, and my prediction was best case scenario. I think you watched that episode. I predicted 12-5.
That was
And actually predicted
12-5.
I predicted them losing to the Cowboys, but I predicted them splitting with the Colts, splitting with the Jags, and sweeping the Titans, similar to what they did last season. And I had them losing to Kansas City. I did have them beating Baltimore on Christmas Day, though. That one I'm not sure about.
Dude, even you couldn't keep a straight face.
So maybe 11-6. Okay. Dude, we'll see. I mean, this is the thing about the NFL. We always go off of what happened last year, and then inevitably some team we thought was going to be great ends up not being great. And
Right.
some team that we had no idea was going to be good ends up being good. I mean, happened with the Texans last year. So, I mean, it's all speculation until they put the pads on, man. And that's the part I'm looking forward to. I can't wait till games actually start. But yes, I am cautiously optimistic. I recognize the flaws of the team last year, and I know they had a really good offseason on paper. But I remember the Texans going 12-4 one year, and everyone predicting they were going to win the Super Bowl the next season, and they proceeded to win 2 games. So,
or when the Lions went 4-0 in the preseason, went 0-16 the next year.
Right. So, in the words of my man P. Scott, we've seen this movie before.
We have seen this movie before.
But I'm very cautiously optimistic. I believe in D'Amico Ryans as a head coach. I believe in the culture that he's setting. I believe in CJ Stroud. Here's the thing I know about him. I know at minimum he works hard. He studies the playbook and he gives a damn. And that for me, and you mix that in with his talent, he should at minimum be a good NFL quarterback for the rest of his career. But the possibility of being one of the greats, maybe.
So let me ask you this, because you said he should at the minimum be a good NFL quarterback, but I always go to, why do we pay quarterbacks? And if you think he's only going to be good,
no, I said at minimum.
I know, but if at minimum he's Blake Bortles, do you want to pay him $55 million?
No, I would have the Texans pay him a 5-year, make him go through his 5th-year salary, and then maybe franchise him if they haven't found anybody else. That's what I would.
Bad. This is bad for the audio audience, but I am shaking my head.
We never
very cockily.
We never disagreed about that. What we disagreed about is who is in that category. Like Blake Bortles, absolutely. If CJ Stroud is Blake Bortles, you don't pay him.
No, but the thing for me is that
Joe Burrow, then yes, you pay him.
But this is my entire thing, though, is that if we are going just off results and we can't pay them, but we can pay them, why should we and why shouldn't we? And because Blake Bortles, we can't lose Blake Bortles, and that has been, we can't lose Blake Bortles. Oh my goodness! Oh my stars.
Yes, he made an AFC Championship game with a really good defense. Statistically, he wasn't that dude.
But that is, yeah, and that's, but see, that has always been my point, is that we dumb it down to it's a quarterback stat. Anyway,
okay, well, if you have bad stats, that
he had bad stats. He wasn't great.
He got an extension because he went to an AFC Championship game.
That's my point.
No, you, man, are we really gonna do this again?
Yes, we are. Right now, we're gonna do this again.
Anybody who's listened to us argue this like 4 times, they're rolling their eyes right now, like, oh my god.
I don't care.
All I'm saying is, I'm not talking.
Nick De Levitt. It's the best. It's the best argument ever.
Whether you get paid should be a combination of, are you affecting games? Are you affecting winning? And what is the result of that winning? It should be a combination of both. It should not be you had dog poo stats, but you made the AFC Championship game, so I have to pay you. No.
But
If
that's
you have, but that does happen. Bad teams do that. I agree with you. Like
right.
the Jaguars have done it twice now. I agree.
I know. That's my point.
Okay. But what I'm saying is if Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson, like Lamar Jackson's won league MVP twice, you pay that dude. Okay. Joe Burrow got you to the Super Bowl, and it wasn't a fluke that he got to the Super Bowl. Like he was that dude. He's been that dude when he's healthy. So yes, you pay those guys because they are the only chance you have of beating one Patrick Mahomes. You're not beating Patrick Mahomes with the Jared Goffs. You're not beating Patrick Mahomes with, you know, all the dudes we've talked about before. Baker Mayfield.
So you're basically making my point for me.
No, because you said you shouldn't pay Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson either. And I think you're wrong.
No. You are twisting my words. I said you shouldn't pay them the money of Patrick Mahomes. I didn't say you shouldn't pay them. I did not say you shouldn't pay them. I said you shouldn't pay them the same amount of money.
Right. But we talked about that too. That's not how economics works, though.
I know it's not. I understand how it works, but I don't agree with it, bro.
I know you don't. You've made that very, very clear.
But you don't recognize my position on it, though.
I do recognize your position, but you tell me that not only do you not agree with it, but if you were the GM of a team, you wouldn't do it. And I'm telling you, you'd probably get fired like very quickly.
Yeah, and guess what? I'd still collect those $500 million paychecks, and I'd ride off into the sunset, bro.
For sure.
I'm okay with it, bro.
Yeah, for sure. But here's the thing. So I think everybody assumes that off of one season, CJ Stroud is going to be worthy of contract extension. I would like to see him do it for 2 more years. If he does it for 2 more years and the team has success, a combination of both, then yeah, I say pay the man.
That's all I've wanted is for people to say the exact same thing. But like when I say about Josh Allen, oh boy, no.
Don't you feel like Josh Allen is kind of on that borderline though? Like, do you think he should have gotten the extension he got when he did?
Wait, Josh Allen?
Yeah.
I understand.
The quarterback of the Bills, then who is? Right?
JP Lossman?
Not getting this result. We've seen that. We've seen JP Lossman, how that went. Yeah,
and Trent Green and Doug Flutie. Honestly, Doug Flutie was. If Doug Flutie was still a quarterback, we'd still be going 11-5 and now 11-6 because Doug Flutie was the answer to all of our problems.
Yeah. Didn't Ryan Fitzpatrick have like one crazy season with y'all too?
He's had one crazy season with like 42 of the 32 NFL teams, man. Like he's had one wild season with everybody.
Yeah, for sure. No, man, but I mean, yeah, I'm a cautiously optimistic Texans fan, but like the reason I said what I said about not freaking out if you go 17-0, the reason I started this podcast is because I want to represent a fan base that I love in Houston. But they can be a little emotional sometimes. And I'm talking
Houston,
like
GMB? You've met Philly, right?
Yes, but Philly, I mean, I guess every city has this issue, but that's for true. Houston, for being the 4th largest city in the country, like I think it's for the 9th media market, we have a real bad case of small town little man syndrome. Like we want the national media to give us respect, but in large part, we haven't done anything to garner that respect.
Can I ask you a question between like in if we can take out 1990 like 3 or 4 and beyond, do you think Dallas or Houston has the big market small town feel?
Houston is a bigger city, but I believe because of the success of the Cowboys over the years, I believe their media market is actually bigger than ours. So Houston, they're going to kill me for saying this out loud, but it's true. Houston,
I'll defend you, man.
A lot of people in Houston have an inferiority complex to Dallas. Why? I don't know. Dallas thinks they're better than us. Their their running joke is that the water we bathe in is the water that comes from their toilets. Like they say when you flush a toilet in Dallas, the water goes to Houston so that they can take a shower. Like that is their. They really think they're like that, bro. And if you go out there, we call them North Oklahoma because it doesn't even feel like Texas, man. They're so bougie, so Hollywood. Like they think they're better than everybody.
That I've never heard that, but that is so fantastic.
All because they had one crappy television show in the 70s, and because the Dallas Cowboys won 5 Super Bowls a century ago. And they think
only because of that, right?
Yeah, and they got one Stanley. Like they even try to throw their Stanley Cup in our face. I'm like, bro, we don't have a hockey team. So
yeah, Madonna's not coming out the woodwork, man.
Yeah, it's and look, the Dallas Houston rivalry, it's a fun thing, but Dallas, they believe everybody hates them because they want to be them. Houston believes everybody hates us because they have this whole inferiority thing. And I'm like, look, we got to stop doing that. Like, first of all, the first thing we have to admit is that other than the Houston Astros and the Houston Rockets for a small amount of time, we haven't done anything to garner the national respect. I don't know why Houston cares about national respect so much.
Size, though? Because the Astros were absolute 100% dog for years and decades, but they've been awesome for a decade now, though, dude. I think that complex is like kind of.
I would say they went to the World Series in 2005. I would say they were mediocre until about 2016 or 11. And then they were dog. Like I'm telling you, dude, used to go to the games. They were giving away tickets. Like they would have like free hot dog night just to get.
They were the Miami Marlins of Texas.
Yeah. So, all the way up until 2015. From 2015 to now, they've been one of the most dominant teams. And here's the thing: even with the 2017 scandal, when the Astros were dominating, all the way up to winning the World Series in 2022, they got their respect. All that national attention that for some reason Houston cares about that I don't understand, we got it. Because we actually did something. When the Rockets were the only team in the NBA that was even trying to beat the Warriors, the Rockets got their respect. They got the national attention. When they won the championship in the 90s, although the whole Jordan thing hung over our head.
That to me was on notoriety on names because it had Chris Paul and it had James Harden.
Yeah, but also like let's keep it real. Nobody else in the NBA was trying to beat the Warriors. Everybody was just waiting for that dynasty to be over with.
Okay, so
nobody else was trying to beat them.
So that's fair, and I totally understand because I have made that argument when it comes to football. Is sometimes you run to a juggernaut, and sometimes you just gotta wait it out. And it feels like the Western Conference was doing that. So I understand your thought process on that, and I went like Brady Bunch on that one. So I do. I understand what you're saying, and I really. I understand where you're coming from with that point of view on it.
I'm gonna make the cardinal sin.
Go ahead.
Defending James Harden. Everybody said James Harden is a choke artist in the playoffs. James Harden in the playoffs was only incapable of beating the greatest team ever assembled in the NBA. And there was
this guy named LeBron James.
Yes, LeBron James beat them once. And that is a credit to LeBron James' greatness. James Harden is not LeBron James. And LeBron beat them when they didn't have KD. I'm talking about the KD version of the Warriors. That is the greatest team ever assembled. And that is the only team that James Harden could not beat. But we call him a choke artist. At no point, James Harden never lost a playoff series he was supposed to win. Not once. Not when Kawhi and the Spurs beat us. We weren't favored in that series. At no point were we favored against the Warriors, even when we had home court advantage and went up 3-2 on them. We still were not favored in that series. Like, so I get it. We should have beat them in 2018. That's no doubt. We shouldn't have missed 27 straight threes. But at the end of the day, like
that was bonkers to me. Is the fact that you guys missed like infinity billion 3 points
and still only lost by 9 points. Don't get me started on that though, man, because we will go on a tangent because that game is on Both of
That is what I'm here for. I'm
Game
here for
6
all the
Game 6 and
tangents.
7 is on YouTube. Go watch both of those games. You can see the moment that the referees take over.
No, don't
Go watch it. Go watch it.
Don't do
The
that, man.
Rockets
The
had-
referees,
the Rockets had
referees
20
don't clank open shots, bro.
Dude, I'm not talking about why were they taking those open shots. Do you want to know why?
Because it was
Why were they taking threes instead of driving to the basket?
because it was the origination of take the three because it's worth more. And
No,
they had
they-
James Harden. And they also had terrible shooters who weren't James Harden. And then
Okay.
womp womp womp.
Listen to what I'm saying though. I'm not absolving the Rockets from responsibility.
Sounds like
Chris,
you are.
no. I think if Chris Paul were not injured, because I watched him do it all season. When the Rockets got three happy, Chris Paul would come in the game and he would like, hey, look, he would settle things down, he would organize the offense, and he would find good shots. When Chris Paul was not there, they started chunking up threes. But another reason they started chucking up threes is because James Harden was driving to the basket and the referees were swallowing the whistles. Listen,
No, they stopped swatting the whistle 2 years after the fact.
dude, the games, I'm telling you right now, like, trust me, nobody is dissecting.
Bro, playoff basketball is not different. It's completely different than regular season ball, dude.
Go watch them. You can see the moment it happens. They had double-digit leads in Game 6 and in Game 7. I think they had a 20-point lead in one of those two. In the third quarter, the Rockets entered the penalty in the span of like 2 minutes. Like, I'm talking back-to-back, ticky-tack, BS, and all of a sudden, the Warriors, who already have Steph, already have Clay, already have KD, now they're in the penalty for an entire third quarter. And that is exactly how they got back in the game, is at the free throw line. I know at the risk of sounding like a bitter fan, but I'm not lying. I'm the same person who talks about the Western Conference Finals in 2002, how the Sacramento Kings got robbed by the Lakers in that series too.
Bro, oh my God, I was so close to bringing up the
dude, you know it too. And
I was so close to bring up the Kings. It was crazy.
Donaghy confirmed it later. Like, yeah, we fixed that series. He put it in his book. And I was like, you didn't have to tell me that, bro. I already watched it. I saw it. I lost a bet in Game 7 of that series.
So I will say this. I will say this.
We went off on. I thought we were talking about the Texans. It's fine.
We were.
That's why I love your show.
We'll get back, because look, we're best friends. we're gonna get back there. Yeah. But honestly, I understand where you're coming from with the whole Chris Paul not being a part of it, but it always comes back to the narrative. And the thing is, like, you and I understand how this thing works, where basketball, or not even just basketball, but like there are certain special players where if you take them out of the equation, things tend to fall apart.
Right.
And that's what happened in Houston, because CP3 is a traditional true point guard. And if you don't have him, you've got James Harden.
Yeah, James Harden was the MVP. He was on the unguardable tour that year. But
he was a stat padding 40 PPG dude.
The glue of that team. I watched every game that season. The glue of that team was Chris Paul. And I firmly believe if he were not injured, they would have won that series and they would have swept the Cavs. That's how I feel about it.
I love you.
You have a shirt. I know you. Number one, maybe you didn't want. Dude, that 2018 Rockets team was legit. 65-17, I think they were.
Bro, no.
They were legit, bro.
We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
They were legit.
They weren't legit.
They just came up a bit against the greatest team ever. Sorry, like, I'm not mad at them.
Oh, the Cavs?
No, not the Cavs.
Exactly.
The Cavs is not the greatest team ever. The Warriors went and beat the Cavs after that series. What are you talking about?
No, what I'm saying is that the Warriors, they had the regular season record and then lost to the Cavs in the finals. That's what I was saying.
That was before they got KD. I'm talking about the KD Warriors is the greatest team ever assembled.
Whoa, no.
LeBron never beat KD.
Whoa, hold on. They got KD in that that year, right?
No,
No, didn't they?
no. The year that the Cavs beat, that's why the Cavs went and got KD. Because they
Oh,
lost
okay.
LeBron.
Okay. I think you're right.
And then they went back to
And
back
see,
after they got KD.
it's called learning.
Yeah, it's fine. Trust me, man. This stuff is burned into my brain.
You got to be so
as a
mad.
Houston fan, you just have so many what ifs, man. It sucks, but it's cool, man.
But you
That's
got
why.
yo,
But
you
here's
got
the thing.
but you
There's
got
other
back to
people
back.
in my
You got
city
back
who
to back.
don't.
But you got back-to-back titles with Hakeem, though, Bo.
Yeah,
Like,
but
you
everybody says that the only reason that happens is because Jordan retired. Like we don't,
Yeah.
and that's the one. Like I get it.
Let me ask you this:
Houston does have
do
some
you
legitimate
think
gripes
do
when it
you
comes to
think
things like that.
do you think the Rockets would have at least gotten one if Jordan didn't retire? Now that we're here, now that we're in this space, do you think they would have gotten at least one?
I think they would have gotten both. But yes, I do think they would have at least gotten one. Let me tell you why I think they would have gotten both.
Nobody
Number
wants to hear this, but I think so too.
Let me tell you why I think they would get them both. People are acting like winning 8 straight champions. Nobody's done that since the Celtics when there was like 8 teams in the league. Winning 8 in a row.
Exactly. Thank you.
Winning 8 in a row is hard. Like Jordan taking that year and some change off. If he didn't do that, he probably wouldn't have three-peated again. Because eventually you're playing like extra seasons worth of basketball.
To me, it's zero chance.
Yeah,
But
I mean, you're playing extra seasons worth of basketball in an extremely physical era of the NBA. There's no way they're winning 8 straight. I'm sorry. But not to mention the defense, the first Rockets championship team, defensively, they were amazing because of Hakeem Olajuwon. And name the Chicago Bulls center that's going to guard Hakeem Olajuwon. I can
Bill
name you 3 or
Wennington.
4 guys who will. I'm not going to say they're going to
Bill
stop
Wennington.
Jordan, bro.
Bill Wennington.
Yeah, Bill Cartwright, Luke Longley. Come on, bro.
I'm just saying I know the dude. It's Luke Longley and Bill Wennington.
David Robinson and what he did to Patrick Ewing and Shaq. What the hell do you think he was going to do against Bill Cartwright and Wennington and Luke Longley? Like, come on. And I'm telling you, I'm not saying anybody on the Rockets was going to stop Jordan, but we had a very, very young and athletic Robert Horry who could guard Pippen. We had Vernon Maxwell. We had an older but still athletic Clyde Drexler. Sam Cassell was a beast on defense. Like, come on, man. No, Mario Ellie. That's what. Yeah, I think we would have got both. And I'm gonna go one further. This one you're gonna call me nuts for.
Go.
1997.
Go. Nick.
1997. Charles Barkley.
Don't do that. No, don't do
Hakeem
that.
Olajuwon. No, listen to me. Listen to me. If that team would have beat Utah, that team would have beaten the Bulls. People don't realize the Rockets had the Bulls number. Like in those 3 years, they went like 7-2 in the regular season against the Bulls. They never got to play them in the playoffs, and that's not their fault because Jordan was the one who decided to take a year off, and Jordan was the one who couldn't beat Shaq and Penny, who we just happened to sweep after that. So that's why I hate that conversation because you play who's put in front of you. You play who's put in front of you. And I'm sorry that he wasn't good enough to make the finals in 1995. If he would have been there, he'd have got swept just like Shaq and Penny did. Amen. Like Hakeem Olajuwon was the greatest player on the planet at that time. He was. And to me, he's the greatest center to ever live. And people are going to lambast me, but name another center who's top 15 in 4 different categories. I rest my case. Okay. Houston Texans.
I mean, to me, so I love me some Hakeem. Hakeem is my dude. So my favorite player of all time is Charles Barkley. Not Houston Rockets, Charles Barkley, but Phoenix Suns, Charles Barkley. That's my dude.
97, he was good. He had like 30 rebounds in one playoff game, dude. He was still good.
No, I'm just saying like that's always that's the reason why when I played basketball I wore number 34 was because of Charles Barkley. But I do want to get your perspective on something that's not Houston related,
Okay.
Because I love Houston.
I didn't mean to take
Right.
over your show. I'm sorry. I'm
No,
just
no,
pulling you back.
no, you're good.
I'm
I
just
love
letting you-
Houston. I love Houston so much. It's the best. It's the best Houston.
Yeah.
But this Brandon Ayuk thing, it's been
Mhm.
reported now because I've been saying for a while it's not like saying for a while with Brandon Ayuk. It's really just when a person of high importance in a sports landscape says we're not trading somebody, that means you're trading them. Or if we're trading them, it means you're probably not. So with Brandon Ayuk, now it is being publicized that the New England Patriots and Cleveland Browns are that's the hierarchy.
Mhm.
Do you think that Brandon Ayuk, one, gets traded, two, gets traded to them, either one of them, or three, any place else? Because I could see it going to New
I
England.
need you to help me out with one thing because obviously, like I do Houston sports, so I'm not as plugged in. Has he been franchise tagged yet?
That I don't think he's signed it, and that's the reason why he's being in trade negotiations. From what I understand,
Keep me right because I know he wanted an extension,
right?
but that's because he already played the last year of his deal, correct? Like he either gets traded or he gets franchise tagged, correct?
From what I understand, that's correct. I could be
Okay.
wrong, but from what I understand, yes.
I don't think he's going to be a 49er, bro. When you go on TikTok,
I don't either.
when you go on TikTok and you're like, yeah, they don't want me. Who's he talking to? Jaden Daniels or something like that? He had him on the phone.
Quarterback for Washington?
Yeah, because they went to the same college, didn't they? Didn't he go to didn't Ayuk go there? I know they're boys. I don't know if they went to college together, but I know they're boys. You didn't see that TikTok video?
No, I didn't, bro. I'm not big on TikTok, bro.
Well, I mean, it was on Instagram and everything too. So
We are the
Brandon
same age, and I don't utilize
Brandon
those
Ayuk
things
was
the way
on
that you
live.
do.
He was on live. His girlfriend was recording him live. He was FaceTiming with, I believe, Jaden Daniels, and he's like, "Hey, bro, they're telling me they don't want me back." Like he's doing this publicly before the 49ers had said anything.
Right, but
From
like
that
9
moment
times
on,
out of 10,
from that moment on, I was like, "Yeah, he's not going back." Like you
No, but
can't
not-
take him back at that point.
how many times have you seen where somebody as a pro athlete says, they don't want me, I don't want to be here, and
I've
then
never
get
seen them
resigned?
get on live social media and air out dirty laundry. I've never seen that.
It happens. It's not very often where it
Usually
ends.
there'll be like what, a cryptic tweet, like
There's
hashtag
yes.
respect or something
Yes.
like that. This
So
dude
yes,
on live.
right. So there's usually the cryptic tweet. You're right.
Right.
There's usually
still
that.
call them tweets, even though is it still a tweet? What is it called now? I don't know.
Yeah, squeets. It's an X.
I don't know.
Squeets.
I don't know what we call them.
No,
That's
but
weird.
like I understand where there can be some. It's not even confusion, but it really is.
Let me just say, bro, if he goes to the Browns, because I believe Deshaun Watson's gonna have a bounce back year. That would be
Dude, I've been saying for 2 months and nobody wants to believe me.
no, I think he's gonna have a bounce back year. He had flashes last season, and we know what he was in Houston.
If they get Ayuk,
Yes, if they get Ayuk, and if he can
Right.
stay healthy, and if they can keep running the ball, like people forget how good Deshaun Watson was at the height of his power in Houston.
I
Like,
didn't.
Well, yeah, because you experienced it firsthand.
Well, no, I experienced Josh Allen throwing footballs to square bodies.
Right. But also, we know what happened at the end. But no, like, I think he still has a chance to redeem himself. And if he gets a receiver like Brandon Ayuk, I really don't know why you would keep Deebo Samuel and not instead of Ayuk. I don't know about that one.
Dude, I have been the most critical person of Ayuk and or not Ayuk, I'm sorry,
Debo?
but of Samuel, and it's
Mhm.
mostly because when they gave Debo his deal, that's the same time frame that they signed Garoppolo to his extension. And I said, well, why the hell are you paying the wide receiver who doesn't want to be a running back anymore, but
Yeah,
you don't have a quarterback who can be a quarterback? To
right.
me, that was a waste of money. If he wanted to be a running back, then awesome. But he said, no, I don't want to be.
Because you
Like,
weren't gonna pay him running back plus receiver money.
they ended up paying him that money. He's making what, like $30 million a year? 27?
Oh, he is? That's crazy. I didn't know that.
It's like $27 million
I
a
thought he
year.
was
And
making
like,
like 19 or 20. If he's
no, dude, it's
making
like 27
bro, how
million
many
dollars a year.
receivers are making there's not that many receivers making that. That's crazy. I didn't know that. If that's true, I didn't know that.
Bro, Tyreek Hill is making almost $30 million a year. Justin Jefferson, same. Dude,
Hey, bro.
there's way too many wide receivers making
I just thought of something.
go ahead.
No, I'm gonna let you finish your point. Something just entered my mind though. Go ahead and finish what
So,
you're at.
so how many wide receivers do you think are making $20 million plus, between 20 and $30 million a year?
There's a few. I know
Oh,
because
Stephon Diggs is.
Nico just got an extension and he's making like 21, 22. And he's
No,
still
no, no, is he really?
Nico Collins, yes.
No, he's not really.
Yeah. Go look it up. He's still only like the 8th highest paid receiver though.
So
Like, so it's got I think the
Tyreek
highest is
Hill,
Jefferson now is making what, 25, 30? And then you got
30.
AJ Brown.
AJ Brown, DK Metcalf,
Yeah, you
probably.
got some dudes in front of him, but he's still making
Stephon
like 20.
Diggs.
Stephon Diggs is actually this year gonna make less than Nico. Because Stephon is at like 20 and Nico's at like 21, 22.
Yeah, but Stephon's also 30.
No, but he's this is his last year of he's still making money off of his
And
old deal.
that's
He
so
thinks he's gonna get more.
yeah, he making money off of us.
Okay, I'm glad you brought that up though, because that's what I was thinking about. Imagine this. The San Francisco 49ers, they franchise Brandon Ayuk. And then the Houston Texans let uh Stephon Diggs play this year and then go on about his way and try to make some money. And then the Houston Texans, now with all this cap space, D'Amico Ryan says, "Hey, bro, we're boys back from San Francisco. You remember me? Come on,
Man,
man. Come play for the Texans, bro." And then the
yo,
Texans replace Diggs with Brandon Ayuk. Bro,
mm,
bro.
so
AFC's championship game at
so
minimum.
I'm
At
not
minimum.
look, here's the deal though, man. I'm not saying that it's wrong, but I've also said for the longest time, like these owners just want to push these bills back as far as they can.
Mhm.
So you might get Brandon Ayuk right now. You're gonna owe that dude like $45 million on like the last 2 years of his
Yeah, yeah.
5-year deal.
And hopefully you're drafting really well and
Hope,
you
hopefully.
you probably let go of some other players that in other scenario because you're probably gonna end up paying CJ.
Oh,
You're gonna
well,
have to pay your left tackle. You're
based on
gonna
the
have to pay
economics,
your
you
pass
have to.
rusher. Huh?
Based on the economics, you have to.
Right, unless he's just bad, like Trevor Lawrence bad. Then I would actively be on the do not give him more money. Or at least don't pay
Unless
him
you're
max.
Trevor,
I would okay, if he was
you
Trevor
didn't even
Lawrence
go.
bad, I would say re-sign him, but
You
don't make him the highest paid player.
you didn't even go Daniel Jones. You went Trevor Lawrence because you wanted to keep it
Different.
in the division. You
Absolutely.
terrible person.
Same difference. Daniel Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Blake Bortles.
Daniel Jones is so cheeks, dude.
It's all the same. It's all the same. But no, man, I don't know, man. I know you don't believe in this, but I just want the Texans to go for it while they don't have to pay their quarterback stupid money. And I think that's what they're doing.
Well, you've got 18 months.
He'll be eligible after his third season.
Right, which will be in 18 months.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you don't have to do it after the third season, but like I said,
That's been my entire point. You don't have to.
No, but the
Nicholas.
guys who do, the teams believe that they've earned it.
Oh, Nicholas.
When did Allen get his extension? It wasn't after his third year.
It was at his third year.
Was it?
It was at his third year.
Okay, because he was bad for like 2 years, right? Or was it just
his
year?
I know because
And they still gave him the extension at the third year?
Yes.
That's bad.
Yeah.
His third year was
that is my
Diggs, right?
point, Nicholas.
Was his third year with Diggs?
His third year was with Diggs.
That's why. Yes. Okay, so that's why. Because they put up stupid numbers together.
That's my. Oh my God! I want to fight everybody
but bro,
right now, bro.
A quarterback has to have good receivers, unless your name's Tom Brady. Like
that's my. Oh, Nick! Don't do this! Don't do this! I love you. Don't.
But there's only one Tom Brady. If you don't have him, then you got to get a slightly worse quarterback and maybe surround him with some better weapons. That's all.
Yo, I don't want to fight you in the street, but I want to. That has been my point the entire time. You've been fighting me on this for 2 years, and now you want to have my back?
I'm not.
No.
You're not listening to me,
Preston. No. You don't get to do this, man. You don't get to do this.
You're not listening to me. You and I have agreed mostly on the quarterback issue. The only thing we've disagreed on is who is worthy of an extension. That's the only thing we've disagreed on. We agree on who doesn't need one.
Yeah.
We agree on Daniel Jones's cheeks, Trevor Lawrence's boo-doo.
Doo-doo butter. That's the word.
Yeah, doo-doo butter, that too. Boo-doo, isn't that? Oh no, it's poodoo. That's a Star Wars reference for all of my Star Wars fans.
Poodoo.
Yeah, he's back to poodoo.
This is why we're here, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. I feel like Lamar Jackson and Joe Burrow. I feel like that's a different class of quarterback than those other guys we're talking about. Are they as good as Patrick? No, they're not. But you can beat him with them. Maybe okay, if Joe Burrow plays Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl 10 times, how many times does Joe Burrow win? He plays Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl 10 times. How many times do you think Joe Burrow wins?
So, do you want me to do?
Okay, they're not in. Obviously, they can't play in the Super Bowl, but let's imagine.
Damn it! I was just gonna say, do you want me to?
Imagine they can.
I was like, well, they're there, so you can't do that.
No, just imagine they can. 10 times. How many do you give Burrow?
What am I looking at? The same roster?
Sure.
Every single.
So Burrow doesn't get one? I'm going to give 10 times. I'm going to give Burrow 3. I'm going to give Burrow 3 10 times. Okay. That's 30 per, like, I'm going to give him 3.
So
how many is Baker Field going to get?
So Joe Burrow is your average hitter at the Major League Baseball level in 1992.
No. Joe Burrow is
30% of the time?
No. Joe Burrow is Mark McGwire to Barry Bonds.
No. No. Barry
Bonds is the GOAT.
Dude,
and Mark McGwire is a home run hitter. Like,
we are not doing that. Mark McGwire.
Okay, no. Who would you say during Barry Bonds' height? Who would you say was the second best hitter? Bernie Williams. Do you even watch baseball? I don't even know. Like, do people care about baseball?
I cared about baseball in the early 2000s. So it depends on what you mean by long distance or by.
I'm just saying pure hitter. Pure hitter. What I'm saying.
Walker.
Huh?
Larry Walker.
Okay, Larry Walker. He played for Toronto and the
Rockies.
Rockies, right? Okay. And he also played for the Cardinals.
Do I watch baseball?
Okay, no. I don't think Larry Walker was close to the same level as Barry Bonds, but that's what I'm saying.
No,
like,
I don't either, but nobody was.
Right. And so Patrick Mahomes is Barry Bonds. What I'm saying is you got to have somebody that's close if you're going to beat him.
There's nobody who is, though.
Joe Burrow already beat him with Tyreek Hill.
And
so you have a chance. You have a shot.
You have
a better shot than if you have Blake Bortles or Trevor Lawrence or any of these other doo-doo sauce quarterbacks.
If we're gonna do this, he beat Patrick Mahomes, and did they win the Super Bowl? No,
but he beat Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is the standard, right? And then he ran into another really good team with a guy like.
But that's the whole thing.
You have to beat Patrick Mahomes.
There we go.
You have to beat Patrick Mahomes to get to the Super Bowl if you're in the AFC.
No, there we go.
He has shown that he can do that.
No, there we go. It's because no, there we go. Before Matt Stafford got to the Rams, he was a what, Nicholas?
He was a really good quarterback on a team.
Nope.
Yes.
Not how. Now you and I.
You don't think Matt Stafford is a good quarterback? Like
that's what I'm saying. Is like you and I are going to see him as that. But what does the national average think? He's a loser because he plays for the Lions, and he's a loser.
No, I always thought he was on a bad team, and I think that's why he finally wanted out of there.
But
he was on a really good team. He won the Super Bowl.
But that's what I'm saying, though.
Joe Burrow was in his second or third year when he went to the Super Bowl.
It was one of the two, second or third.
Okay.
Yes.
So we've already established, like, just because you don't win it in your second or third year doesn't mean you'll never win it. Otherwise, we would have trashed Marino. We would have trashed.
We do. Like you and I don't, but the populace.
Marino. I think most people think that. Most people think that if I asked you this before, if Dan Marino played under the same contract rules that exist now, Dan Marino, even though he didn't win the Super Bowl, would deserve to get a contract extension. Would he not? Would John Elway, with the same rules after his first 3 seasons, would he deserve to get a contract extension?
I see what you're doing.
He would. Absolutely, he would.
I see what you're doing.
John Elway didn't win the Super Bowl till he was what, 38? Or however old he was.
No, I see.
Because Joe Burrow didn't win it in his second year, he's already proven he can beat.
Are twisting. You once again are twisting my words.
I'm just making a statement. I'm not using your words against you or anything.
Yes, you are, because I'm not. Okay. Dude, I have never once in my entire life said that these guys don't deserve contract extensions. I don't believe they deserve to be the highest paid player ever.
Okay, when you get a contract extension as a quarterback, we both agree you're either getting an extension at the market value or the team's letting you go. There's no in between. Name the quarterback who took the in between. I don't think there is one.
There isn't one. My point is, though, you just don't have to do bad business because other teams did bad business.
Okay, so listen to what I'm saying, because I feel like you're wanting to respond before I finish it.
No, I don't feel like you're listening to what I've been telling you for fucking 3 years now. I use a bad word.
I am though. So this is what I'm saying. When I say extend them, I'm talking about giving them the highest or the market value. I'm not talking about anything in between. You believe that you should not give quarterbacks who do not, in your estimation, don't deserve to be paid market value. You shouldn't make them the highest paid players. Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Those guys. So before hold up. I need to do this. So Tua needs to be the highest paid quarterback right now, right? By your metrics, he should be the highest paid quarterback.
No, but depending on what he does,
so he shouldn't be. So should Trevor Lawrence.
But listen to what I'm saying though. If you don't make Tua the highest paid quarterback, do you think he's going to take a lesser contract, or is he going to go to some other dumb team that's going to make him the highest paid quarterback?
Let him go.
That's okay, but this is what I'm saying. You're saying that I said that you don't believe in giving contract extensions.
No, that's not what I said. Extensions aren't the problem. Making every single quarterback the most highest paid quarterback is the problem.
I got that. But let's establish that the only extensions that exist in the NFL for a quarterback are either you're the highest paid or you don't get one.
Then let them go.
Nobody's taking it in. Okay, fine. So that's why I said when you said you don't believe they should get extended, that means you believe that if they're not deserving of being the highest paid, then you let them go. Correct? Okay, so then we agree with each other.
If the quarterback is not willing to acknowledge that they aren't the best quarterback, which nobody is, and you and I know that. It's professional sports, bro. They're never, ever, 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 ever going to understand the fact they aren't the best. They understand the market, but just because another team does bad business doesn't mean that you have to do the same. Because so let me ask you this real quick: who do you think are the 4 or 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL?
All right, we got Patrick Mahomes. We've got Joe Burrow. I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
I guess we'll put Aaron Rodgers in there just based on
his body of work.
I
get it. So if those are your 4,
and everybody wants to sell me on Herbert, but honestly, I would put CJ ahead of Herbert already. That's just me.
Wow, that's
just me.
My biggest thing is that so statistically, you can get almost 4,000 yards out of everybody. You can get almost 25 to 30 touchdowns out of everybody. You can get, depending on the system, depending on the players around you, why the hell would you pay just a dude almost $60 million?
I already know that's how you feel. And that's why, listen, under the premise that we've established that in the NFL, quarterbacks don't take less than max extensions. It's either a max extension or they go somewhere else. I don't think there's a quarterback who said, you know what, you're right. I don't deserve to be the highest paid, even though the market dictates that I will be. You know what, I don't think I deserve it. So I'm going to stay with this team and take less. That's not what happens. Usually that team just lets them go and they go sign somewhere else, right?
No, but Nick, that's my thing, dude. Is like I understand. I see them saying that because I understand how they feel, but the business doesn't have to do it. Do you think that Jordan Love is a top 10 quarterback?
No, and I think
he's the highest paid quarterback.
If you were the GM of the Packers, he wouldn't be. And that's why I said you. That's why I said. And that's why I said you don't believe in extending these guys. If he would take less, let me finish, dude. If he would take less, you would sign him for less, right? If you what's the highest paid right now? 55? Exactly. That's why I'm saying under that premise, you don't believe in extensions because it's either the max or bust. So you're going to let him go.
Then let them walk.
Exactly. Are you not?
Exactly. That's my point for the last 2 years.
Why are we miscommunicating so hard? I know that's your point. That's why I said you don't believe in extensions because there is no middle of the road extension. It's either the max.
I believe in extensions when they are appropriate. Baker Mayfield signed an extension, and he's not the highest paid quarterback. He knows his lane.
He didn't sign an extension with his original team, though.
Not his original team. No, you're right. Not his original team. He bounced around.
And also, we both know Baker Mayfield, at this point, he's had enough chances where he's just going to, wherever he can land, he's going to take it. Like, he's had enough chances at this point. But that's my point. Like, you found a guy who would take a minimum. So yes, you believe in an extension if a guy will take what you believe he's worth. But most of these guys won't do that. And that's the only reason I say you don't believe in extension. You don't believe in extending Jordan Love to a max, to
No.
the highest paid. You don't believe in extending Burrow to the highest paid. You don't believe in extending Lamar Jackson to the highest
So
paid.
I
say that, that's what I mean. I know you would give them an extension if it were at a lower price, but none of these guys are taking a lower price.
So I will say this. I will backtrack for a moment because I do understand what you're saying as far as like the Lamar Jacksons, Joe Burrows, Josh Allen's. Even though I have been incredibly critical of Josh Allen over the past like 2 or 3 years, I get
Mhm.
that. I get it with those guys.
Right.
All the marginal people who are like number 32 to number 10, who are all interchangeable, why the are you paying them top dollar money when you dude, you can name 20 different quarterbacks right now who don't deserve top dollar money, but they're going to get top dollar money because they're too afraid to lose a guy who is just trash.
I don't know if there's 20. I think there's maybe 5 or 6.
You think
Yes, you got Tua is probably going to get overpaid.
No, I mean on the back end.
People believe Jalen Hurts.
There's 20 players, there's 20 quarterbacks who are going to get paid who shouldn't because the teams are scared.
Well, no, because Washington didn't pay Howell. They let him go, and he had a pretty decent season. Like he could have argued that he deserved an extension, but they let him go. Like the back 20.
That's-
I don't think they're
that's
even
one
in this
example,
conversation.
though.
Like you have your top 5. We're talking about the people from like 6 to 15 are the people who might get dumb extensions, or maybe not even, maybe like 6 to 10. We'll say 6 to 15. Whoever you want to say that is, there's a chance they might get stupid extensions. But the
Who?
and I'm talking about the. I mean, I don't think Justin Herbert is probably starting. He's probably like number 6. And then you got like who's the Geno Smith. You've got
Geno Smith got his bag, and actually, I think the Geno Smith bag was appropriate.
Yeah. I'm talking about, so you got guys who are serviceable starters that are probably going to get paid more than they should.
It's too many though, dude.
I mean, I can only
Denver.
Who is Denver's quarterback? I don't even know who their quarterback is.
Exactly. They named Jarrett Stidham today.
Okay. But
there's Vegas.
He's not making stupid money. Like
but what I'm saying is like these quarterbacks are making so much money when they don't deserve it. There's like 4 people.
Yeah. We agree with that. I think if you're in the top 5 to 7 quarterbacks, I'm okay with you being the highest paid for a little while until it's time for Patrick Mahomes to get paid.
Well, they're always
once it's time for Patrick to get paid, he better make more than you. I'm okay with you being the top paid for a little while. I don't know if Jordan Love, Tua, I don't know. I mean, Jordan Love had 9 good games, so good luck with that.
That's my whole point, is that Jordan Love had 7 games and he's the highest paid quarterback and he's 26 years old.
Yeah.
That's wild to me, bro.
I mean, it's been a while since that organization's been wrong on a quarterback though. So we'll see. But no,
you gotta go. I know that you gotta go.
Yeah. And you and I agree more on this topic than you're willing to admit. When I say what I was trying to explain to you, when I say that you don't believe in extensions, I know for the right amount you would extend anybody as long as it's what they deserve. But I say that on the premise that in the NFL, guys are either the highest paid or they're moving on to a different team that's going to make them the highest paid. Like nobody yet. The reason the Giants paid Daniel Jones what they paid him is because he was probably going to go somewhere else and make it too. And they just thought to themselves incorrectly that they couldn't deal with that. And they were wrong. And that's just like, dude, somebody, you telling me just based off his college resume alone, if Jacksonville does not pay Trevor Lawrence, there's some coach out there that says, you know what? I know what's wrong with him. I can tap into that potential from his college years that this coach in Jacksonville couldn't. Pay this man, bring him here. I'm going to fix him. There's somebody would have done it, whether he deserved it or not. Somebody would have done it. So Jacksonville's between a rock and a hard place. Are we going to get rid of this guy when we have a relatively good roster that's playoff caliber and start all over again? Are we going to drop this bag and hope that he finally reaches his potential?
Jacksonville, I understand to a degree.
Yeah.
I still feel like they overpaid. And like I said, you and I have been over this a long time, many times. But I at least understand why Jacksonville did it with Trevor Lawrence. The Giants with Daniel Jones makes zero sense to me.
Because the team was trash anyway.
They are, and they still will be.
Yeah.
Anyway,
all right, man.
I appreciate you letting me do this. I'm sorry for hijacking all your entire day, man. You got your own thing going on.
I got another show. I'll probably start in like 10, 15 minutes, man. But I had a really good time. P. Scott, thank you so much for the love, for the support. Thank you for shouting out the contest that I'm in, and hopefully your listeners will go and check out that video, continue to vote for me, and hopefully when I'm putting this into the universe and I am manifesting it, when the Houston Sports State of the Union podcast is on ESPN Houston, sir, you will definitely be one of my first guests. I would make that happen.
I would love to know that would be a real thing.
Yeah. I will make that happen. You got choked up, man. That made you feel a certain type of way.
It made me feel something different, bro. Right up in here. But that was Nick Stevenson of the Houston Sports State of the Union podcast. We will put the link in the description and all the comments. Please like and watch the video. Smash the 5-star reviews for his podcast and mine. You guys know the drill. Stay up, stay blessed. We'll catch you guys on the next one.